Today, I shifted to a new house. It was my first morning. I was very happy because I decorated the house at my own will. As soon as I woke up in the morning, I went to the bathroom. The bathroom of this house was also quite open and long. That's why, I was happy that I won't have trouble walking anymore and won't have problems when I have kids. I was thankful for my husband who worked day and night to get us in our new house. But in morning when I went to the washroom, I was surprised to see that towel, soap and other third things were missing from the bathroom. I was very worried that there are no other people living around the house who stole the neighbor's belongings. Well, I thought in my heart, but our house was completely locked up and secure, no door from the roof. I told my mom. She said that she had no idea. We both sat and thought about it for a while, but we did not understand anything. There could be no one else except Luna to steal. I called her to my room and asked Luna. She started crying, saying, "You are doubting me, even though I have been employed by your mother for 10 years. I had just got married that I came here. I can't even imagine that." After listening to Luna, I couldn't believe it. Mom really thought she was great and never allowed me to question her. But considering some circumstances at home, it was normal to suspect Luna. I was wondering why the maid who could steal soap and towel from my bathroom today can't steal jewelry from my closet tomorrow. So I scolded Luna and fired her that day. She cried has gone to her home. Mother also taught me well, but I did not listen to anyone. How could I tolerate thieves in my house? After Luna left, I got some relief that maybe my house is safe now. My things will not be stolen. James was angry when he came home in the evening. "Tell me what you did." "Mother has told me everything." "What have I done?" I said. "You fired Luna knowing that she is a 10-year-old maid of Mom." James and I now had a debate about Luna. I told him that Luna came to our house, she stole soap and towel. James sat down holding his head. "How crazy are you talking? How can she steal soap and towel? If someone has to steal, valuable will steal. What is there in the soap and towel?" My husband tried to explain to me, but I did not understand anything. From the next day I started doing all the housework myself, but I felt strangely uneasy. My mother-in-law was angry with me. She said, "You can't do that much work. You can't serve me like you used." Now I was regretting firing Luna. Thank God I didn't hire him for the second time. When I woke up the next morning, a lot of things were missing from my room, including some makeup stuff, perfume and comb, etc. Seeing this made my heart go to the seventh heaven. I started having all sorts of doubts whether my mother does not steal my things, I thought in my heart, but then I thought that what would my mother-in-law do by stealing my things? But you think for yourself when there is no one else at home. So, in such a case, a man's suspicion can go to anyone. Now I have decided to monitor my mother-in-law. I thought that if anything is stolen from my room, I will keep an eye on it myself. Someday I shall find out who steals my things. Now my husband started doubting me. Because things disappearing from the house brought a significant change in the discipline of our house. There was a strange anxiety all the time, something got lost every day. Finally, I became silent after getting fed up, thought I would compromise with life, lest I break up my house. But then my patience crossed its limits that I was sitting in my room one evening when James came to me, sat at my feet, looked me in the eyes. He said, "Mia, I think you need mental therapy. You are getting crazier day by day. Earlier you were shouting and now this crazy silence seems to have an effect on you. It is very important to take you to the doctor." Yes. I was surprised to hear what he said. "James, what kind of things are you talking about? Why do I need a doctor? Everyone gets angry even in normal circumstances. That doesn't mean they are mentally ill." James started explaining me with more patience on my point. "Mia, try to understand. Your condition is not like normal humans. But you're going crazy. Before you lose your mind, I take you to the doctor, so that he can treat you and cure your illness. I will take you tomorrow morning." And then, despite my million refusals, James made me get ready, as soon as I woke up in the morning. He ordered by force. And unwillingly I went to hospital with James. He went there and told the doctor about me, that I getting angry for no reason, and I also had many problems. I got so angry, why my husband doing this, but his style was showing, that he loved me so much. He did not want my sickness to grow, that's why I fell in love with him. I kept quiet. We came home with sleep relief and anger pills. Now James gave me medicine regularly, but I would get more dizzy and tired all the time. It feels like my body is breaking. One day James started saying, "It seems that now we should hire a maid again because it is becoming difficult for you to work. Anyway, with these medicines you need complete rest. As long as you do not rest, your anxiety will not decrease." I was forced to accept this. Slept that day too. When I woke up in the morning, there was a strange dizziness on the courtyard. When I opened my eyes, I felt a strange smell in my nostrils. Then I realized that something was burning in the room. I woke up in a hurry. When I saw my bed sheet was on fire, I put it out real quick. And saw the rest of the things too. There is no limit to my surprise after seeing this. That my clothes were also burnt lightly, the burn mark was there. My soul just shivered. Oh God, what is happening to me? I started asking myself. James came out fresh in this situation. What happened? Today you seem to have woken up early, James said. So I looked at him anxiously. James, check this out, the bed sheet was on fire, I said, pointing to the sheet. Where was the fire? Where was the fire? See, this is. I wanted to draw James's attention. I could not see it. James's words started hitting hammers in my mind. So, was it all visible to me? I hit my head. Later, I tried to show that sign to James, but he was saying that he could not see anything. The sheet is perfectly fine. Now strange questions arising in my mind. Is there anything else? I thought, and then my heart started beating that I decided in my heart. that I will seek spiritual help from my sister. I shall ask her to come to my house and say some prayers etc., but it didn't happen. It was about 6 in the evening when my father called James's number. When he picked up the call, Dad gave him a very disturbing news. James said that your mother is ill. Earlier she had a slight fever, but now she has been admitted to the hospital. She has suffered severe blood deficiency. Doctors have applied blood, but her chances of survival are very low. It is better that you come to the hospital. Now after hearing this, my hands and feet swelled on my head as if the sky was falling apart. I didn't think of anything else. I packed up my luggage with James and went straight to the hospital. I went there and prayed for the recovery of my mother. I had become sick by crying that I joined the doctors. I stayed awake with her day and night. It was my responsibility to take the bathroom and do everything, although my elder sisters were married nearby. But her husbands did not let them come. So I was also thankful to James that he helped me and cooperated with me, otherwise who would have stayed with the mother? Well, when I served her, the people around me were also surprised. Everyone was jealous of how much of a woman's daughter was obedient, and she took care of his mother day and night. Mother gave me a lot of prayers. After 10 days of continuous treatment and attention, Mother recovered and came home. I too felt relieved. Now Father had to take care of Mother. He hired a maid because of her. The house was a little relaxed. Now I was satisfied, so I wanted to go back home. James also called me in the same evening and said, I am missing you a lot. I will come soon. Get ready, I am coming to you. Hearing James, my heart was filled with joy that a husband should care for a woman. What else does she need? I also got ready quickly. In the evening, I went home with James after meeting my mother. So the map of the house was changed and James's attitude was specially changed. He was taking such good care of me, as if I met him somewhere after 10 years. As soon as he wake up and start the day with a pleasant conversation. I could not believe that. He is the same James who called me crazy and mentally ill. Now I am valued in my house. My mother-in-law also started treating me with love. Now her behavior has also changed. My husband takes care of me in every way. On those days, God Almighty gave us good news. These days James started taking good care of me a lot, but he had to go to the office too. He said, I shall arrange for you a maid. These days there was no more burglaries in our house, so I told him, no need to bring a new woman, we will work with Luna, she is the old maid of this house. We gave her in troubles, and left her, but it was not her fault. James agreed with me. On that day we called Luna to work again. She was also sitting sad. As soon as she heard of work, she came back to our house. Home was peaceful. I started giving her old stuff to wash. She came to my room. I gave her the same bed sheet to wash, on which debate of mine and James before going to Mom. It was repeated, but now I did not pay attention to it. However, Luna started to ask, "Sister, how did this bed sheet burn? What are you saying?" I looked at her with surprise. "Sister, how did this bed sheet burn?" she asked again. After listening to Luna, my mind started thinking of several questions. I asked, "What? Even a blind person can see it," Luna said. "Well, you take it to wash, I will see." I avoided Luna, but I died. It was something else that day. I couldn't find peace. The love of my husband, that was in my heart, was now turning into some doubts. In the evening James came. I told him, "James, can you see that bed sheet was burning at that time?" Bed sheet had returned after washing. "You would ashamed of my words." "What do you mean?" I asked, being ignorant. "I tried to cheat you, but nature taught me such a lesson, that I have repented with a true heart forever." James's words were confusing me. Then he opened his lips and said, "I regret marrying you, because I liked another girl before you. Her name was Lily. But Lily cheated and left me. Then I married you for revenge. But then I realized that I made mistake. Because Lily came back in my life after 2 months. Now she told me day and night that I should divorce my wife and she marry. But I didn't even have any excuse to leave you. Then I politely asked her to give me some time. That time I planned to get rid of you. After thinking in my mind, the trick came to make you a mental patient and stress you so much that you would leave me. I tried my best to make you look crazy and make you a patient in your eyes. But you were patient. And in the middle you went to your mother, and you served her. Maybe your mother's prayer saved your home from destroying, because I valued you after you left. The same evils still existed in her, which our separation reason was made. But maybe I was forget that human nature never changes. Lily was back, but she did not change her habit. She talked to other guys and tried to burn me. I did not love that about her. You didn't come, and then I thought of you back. I valued you so much that you can't think. You think it's your mother's prayer that God Almighty has put so much respect and love in my heart for you. After listening to James's words, I wanted to leave him and go home at the same time. The person who tried to kill me, what would I do by living with him? But it is said that if the husband be ashamed of his mistake, he should never leave him. It becomes easier to rule the heart of such a husband than before. And now, for this reason, such a spring of happiness has come in my life, which was probably not possible before. Same to all women, I would say that they should be patient in their own home life and be careful. God Almighty will turn the battle in their favor one day.